What up, you guys? Yo, 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 yo. So, um, I don't know if you're just tuning in. If you watch I'm sure somebody watches the beginning of my streams, and I noticed it's late, and I have not been as consistent as I would like to be. But I felt like this is a topic that needs to be discussed. I felt very encouraged to talk about this real quick, you guys, and I'm gonna keep it short, but I think that this situation here is something that is very it's viral obviously, but I want to approach this from a different perspective. I think this is really sad. I truly think that this situation is extremely sad, and it's not just because women are whatever, and guys are whatever. I'm actually going through something myself in my own relationship right now. I've been with a girl, and I've not been faithful, right? I have not been faithful. I've not been the best. And I try to make up with it through gifts, through kind words and actions and stuff like that. I've had to learn a lot about honesty, and I've had to learn a lot about truth, and I've had to learn a lot about just what it means to be a good partner in a relationship. And so I think that I, for me, for instance, I've actually been in, I have about 8 years of long-term relationship experience, which is so much more than a lot of other people can vouch for these days. I'm about to be 28 come March this year, and these this couple right in front of us right here. Let me see if I can show you. This couple, you guys, they are about the same age as me. Can't be too much older than I am. Can't be much older than I am. I know they're not. We're probably about the same age, and it just it's it's sad because what I'm going through right now currently and what they're going through right now is not something that's necessarily new, but what is new is society. We have the internet, and we have so many conflicting advices from gurus and other people that we tend to look up to. Whereas before the internet, the only people we had to look up to were our own family members. The only people we had to look up to were our immediate surroundings. The people you could fall in love with, the people you could start a family with, were people in your immediate surroundings. They didn't have Tinder, they didn't have BLK, they didn't have Hinge, they didn't have any of these dating apps. And so, yeah, there are 6 billion people on the planet. And even to this day, you guys, even still to this day, this is still very relevant to this day. You may think that, like, the thing about having tremendous amounts of options is it's just a perception. It's actually a lie, you know? You think you have all of these options in the world because there's 8 billion people on the planet, but you're still actually limited to what the amount of time that you're going to be on this planet. You're still limited to the people around you. You're limited by your resources. As a woman, you can flaunt your body out there and hope that a high value guy, someone that's rich, someone that has plenty of money, can pick up on you, send you a ticket, a flight, or whatever, you know? And it's this is what a lot of women nowadays believe in. They see they see all of the BBLs, they see so many influencer women leading quote unquote successful lives, having all of these great things with these guys, and it's something that's not real. You know, it's not real. And I think that one of the things that's extremely unfortunate about this situation is that I used I used I used Chat GPT. I was thinking about making a video, whether if I should just live stream it or just continue actually just make an actual video. And this is what happened, you guys. I'm actually gonna pull it up real quick. Let's see if I can pull it up here real quick. Hold on. Let me see here. I'm gonna pull it up here real quick. I think that one thing that's let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. I used Chat GPT, and what I typed into Chat GPT, I typed into Chat GPT. Let me pull up this. Let me pull up my phone real quick on the stream. Give me just a moment. I don't know why it's not working. Today, Junior. What the fuck? Oh, it's not connected. Let's see here. Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up here. It's just not working. I don't understand. All right. How about this? Okay. There it is. There it is. Okay. This is really not working. I don't get it. What the fuck? All right. So it's just not working. I don't get it. Computer screen mirror, iPhone screen mirror. This okay. Go. All right. Hold on. What the fuck? It's important that I pull this up. I have to pull it up. Okay. Hold on. Here it is. I think this is it. Pin code, no. QR code, scan. There it is. Okay. There we go. There we go. Is it gonna work? What the fuck? This shit is not working, man. I actually can't pull it up. Whatever. So I'll just show you guys here, man. I'll just show you here. So what I ended up doing was I ended up going to iChat GPT, and this is an article that it sent out, right? It said this is a it said I said, what are the gender differences between love? It is a widely debated topic whether men and women love differently. This is what the Chat GPT, the AI, said. Some experts argue that men and women have different emotional and psychological needs in relationships, while others believe that love is a universal experience that does not vary by gender. Some research suggests that men may be more likely to express love through actions, such as providing for and protecting their partners, while women may be more likely to express love through words and emotional intimacy. However, it's important to note that these are generalizations and may not apply to all individuals. Another difference is that men tend to have fewer close relationships and tend to rely more heavily on romantic partners for emotional support, while women tend to have more close relationships, including friends, family, and other support systems. Now, before I continue on with this, I think this is an important part to talk about real quick. And I was very surprised that the AI actually generated this, that the like came up with this. I was very surprised. One of the things about this is that it says men tend to rely more heavily on romantic partners for emotional support, while women tend to have more close relationships, including friends, family, and other support systems. This is extremely important, you guys. This is why suicide rates among men are the highest out of the entire species. But a lot of people don't want to talk about that. A lot of women don't care. And this is extremely important, you guys. A lot of women do not care about what a man goes through. A lot of women do not care about what a man's existence on this planet entails. This is not to say anything bad about women, but what this is to do is it's really to talk about what we as men go through. I feel for this husband, man. You know why? He and his like we don't even know who this guy is. Yet because of the actions of his wife, his face is all over the fucking internet. All over the internet. Not to mention, she lost her job. I can almost guarantee you that this man is more than likely not affording to be able to pay for himself, if they have kids, you know. Now all of the burden of financial performance is based on him because she lost her job. She lost her job. She slept with 5 guys. Now, whether or not this is okay, whether or not that they accepted this or not, I think one thing that is extremely interesting to think about is if he did give her the okay, if they both talked about this, that it was okay for her to go sleep with 5 other coworkers at her job, would you be able to do the same thing? Basing it off of what this AI app just said, right? Basing it off of what a lot of people have experienced, the way that a lot of men feel, the way that a lot of older men who have been existing on this planet for many, many years prior to the internet, meaning that, and it's important to understand that your ideas and your thoughts and the way that you shape your mind is extremely important prior to the internet. This is something that a lot of the newer generation will never, ever be able to truly be like experience life before internet. You can truly, it's actually it's a bit different, right? This is a like we can fight it from both angles. Having all of the knowledge that you have on the internet with YouTube, Google, stuff like that, we have plenty of ample opportunity to truly like free yourself from what is just surrounding you. Whereas prior to the internet, the only information that you could really get was whatever was accessible to you. Whatever powers that be trickled the little information down to you. So I think that we have greater opportunity to be much more than what we were today than what we were back then prior to the internet. But one thing that is that is the equalizer is the distractions, the false information out there, all of that shit. It's extremely hard for people to truly understand what is true and what's not true. And I think in this situation, one thing that the internet has definitely brought upon us is the differences between men and women. The way that we love is extremely different. And this is not going to get any easier, you guys. This is not going to get any easier. I think that one of the things that this situation makes me so sad about is that this man, I don't know if he has friends. We don't know if he has many friends or not. But if he does heavily rely upon his romantic partner as emotional support, we can see, I can envision how there was an argument, a conversation saying how she was unsatisfied in her relationship. She has been unsatisfied with the relationship that they've had. They're married. He doesn't want to let her go for whatever reason. She's unsatisfied. Maybe he's just not man enough. Maybe he's just not honest enough. Maybe he's just not financially, he's not fit enough. He's not something. As a man, you will never be enough. You, especially in today's time, you will never be enough for your woman. Which begs the question, is she even your woman? What does your woman mean? Even in today's time, we want to question, oh, I don't want to be your woman. That means that you're entitled to possessing me. This is the mindset of so many women these days. And if this is not the mindset of a woman, this is not what she immediately thinks in the forefront of her mind. It's definitely in the back of her mind. Her friends are probably thinking like this. Any negative experience she goes through with the guy draws her further and further to that realization. Oh, I don't need to be possessed. Oh, it's on my time. I do what I want to do. Oh, you're just not man enough. I don't give a damn if you spent 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I don't care if you spent 100,000, $1 million on me. I don't care if you sacrifice literal time of your life. I sacrifice my life. This is what women are thinking of. And so I go back to this husband here, right? We think about this man, and I'm thinking, I'm like, what could possibly, how could you be okay with your wife sleeping? Like, let's just say that it was okay. Let's just say they talked about it, right? And let's say they're about my same age. What kind of situation would draw the conversation of him saying, you know what, baby? It's okay for you to go have lots of sex out there. It's okay if you have sexual partners. It's okay. Let's just talk about it. Let's just be safe. Let's just be discreet about it. It could be a myriad of things, but to me, I think that as a man, if a man goes to that point where he's saying, it's okay if you sleep with another man. I just want to be in your life. I just want to be your husband. I just want to be your confidant. I love you. As men, we can do that. As men, we can self-sacrifice ourselves. We can self-deprecate ourselves. We can disrespect ourselves enough to keep to the point where we can do this shit just so that we can have our emotional anchor in our lives. And that's what I think he did. And not only did she sleep with 5 different guys, but she lost her job. Now he's all out on the public. Their entire information is out for the public to see. And it's like, is this the future for so many of us out here in this life? I think it is. Now, I know what you're saying as a man. Oh, I would never let my girl. I would never. Blah, 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 blah. And you may not ever. You may not go down the path this guy did. But one thing that is extremely daunting is that the mindset of men and women these days. A lot of women but once again, we don't know what conversations happen in the foreground. But what we can tell is that these people, they're not older than 40. They are not 40. They're not in their fucking 40s, meaning that they grew up more than likely like you and I. 40-year-olds, they're kind of out of the dating market for now because they grew up in a time before the internet. We are growing up with internet porn on demand. We're growing up with Tinder. We're growing up with Instagram. We're growing up with people sending DMs. Girls and guys can lie about their age on dating apps and meet with older people and have experiences that they should not have had experiences prior to the internet. Our minds are getting so much more different, you guys. Kevin Samuels is the reason why Kevin Samuels was so big is because he is old. He comes from a time that he was a dying breed. Meaning that he was able to understand what the differences between then and now is and the direction that we're going into. As men, we are being a lot more cutthroat about the value of ourselves, but so are women. The hypergamy, the female nature is in overdrive. I cannot turn on the radio without hearing some kind of female song saying, oh, girls are players. Get the head, get the bread, then leave. We're perpetuated. Society's perpetuating women to be so much more manly and masculine that the family structure is non-existent. We do not know how to be living together. We don't know how to accept each other. We have all the information in the fucking world, and it's so hard to understand each other. As a man, sex is a huge part of your life. And if it isn't, then I salute you. You know, I salute you, because if sex is not a huge part of your life, you are able to do other things out there besides think about sex. Now, I don't know, but me personally, I enjoy sex. I love having sex, especially with the woman that I love. Especially with the woman that I love. But sometimes when she doesn't want to have sex, I still want to have sex. Sometimes when she doesn't want to have sex for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, I still want to have sex. And so what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to go on Pornhub. I'm supposed to go on X Hamster or whatever, find some porn videos and keep jacking off like I used to when I was a kid, like teenager, right? You want me to continue so my life as a man, if I want to have a healthy relationship, is to continue to suppress my sexual drive so that as a woman you feel safe and secure that I want you? Is there any other way as a man to show a woman that you want her and you desire her? It's besides just not having sex with another woman? As a woman, is there any other way for you to understand that your man loves you and cares for you besides just not having sex with other people? It's not enough for him to give you $1,000. It's not enough for him to give you $2,000. It's not enough for him to give you $1 million. It's not enough for him to give you 3 children. There's never, you as a woman, you're never going to accept your man. What is it going to take for you to accept the man? What is it? What is it? And as a man, what is it going to take for you to be happy? Do you think he wanted in his mind, do you think he wanted his wife, the woman that, when so much around him, so many guys are saying, bro, don't get married. Bro, don't do that. There's sexlessness when it comes to marriage. Women don't understand that these are the things that are coming to men. And if a man still takes the leap of faith to marry you, he's going against the grain. He is actually possibly entertaining these ideas of sexlessness, of not being like you're effectively declawing an animal. Have you seen those cats out there that have the claws out there literally like there is, it's almost quite literally taking off the fingertips of a cat when you declaw them? That's almost quite honestly what's happening to a lot of men these days. And so a lot of younger men are understanding that. A lot of younger men are hearing this from the older guys. A lot of younger men are, they are listening to what Andrew Tate has to say. A lot of younger men listen to what the Kevin Samuels out there. They're listening to these things and they're saying, why would I ever want to be in a position like that? Life is already hard as it fucking is. Life is already hard as it is. I, as a man, am nobody special. And so I have to become somebody special. I have to continue to go to the gym. I have to continue to read. I have to compete out here in this world. I have to do the things that I don't want to do in order to put myself above. Women aren't seeing that. What they see is, oh, you're not there yet. Oh, you don't have the moral capabilities of it yet. Oh, you're so weak. Oh, your priorities are fucked up. Oh, you are not it. So what is it? What is it that you are looking for? How do we become better? You know why? And this is important to talk about because we, for the first time in human history, for the most part, are we able to look at a mass scale the actions that couples are making that bring them to 40, 50, 60, 70 dying without a spouse or living life fully married, fully happy. I think this idea of a romantic love is such a ingrained feeling as a species, as animals, of human animals, that We want to believe in it regardless of how many logical, rational things are going against it. As a woman, you want to feel secure. As a woman, you want to feel as if your man truly is there to protect you. You want to feel as if your man is truly there to provide for you mentally. You want a man that is masculine, who is a master with his physical body. You want all of those things. But what you and this is something that's crazy, is that you want all of those things, but the man that is all of those things, you don't care what he had to go through to get to that point. This man is at the finish line, and now he has demands. This man is at the finish line, and now he has self-respect for himself. This man is at the finish line, and now he wants something for what he is. He understands he is a quote unquote prize. And as a woman, now you wanted that guy. You didn't want to be with the guy that was on the race. You didn't want to be. And if you did go with that guy that's on a race, it's so hard to go through the obstacles, to go through the failures. As a woman, you can't, it's so hard to see the silver lining. Is this really what you could be doing with your time? Is this the best thing that you could be doing with your time? Should you just go ride the cock carousel? Should you just go open up a new Tinder profile? Should you just go on a continuous date after continuous date after continuous date just to find out that the majority of men are pretty much similar yet different? Women, like, it's so, this does not look good. It just does not look good for the future, you guys. Traditional love is dead. Traditional love in the modern society is absolutely dead. If you are a millennial, if you are younger than that, it's extremely important to understand how to communicate. Emotional communication is now more important for men and women now than ever before. The people that do get lucky, because there's a huge degree now of luck that comes into play when finding a spouse, when finding a partner that you can truly work with. And I thank y'all for tuning in, man. I hope y'all are doing great. Let me turn off this green screen because it's actually messing with my eyes. I didn't even see that in the background. Yeah. It's so hard to build when you and other people around you are inconsistent. Why is it so hard for women to understand that men want to have sex? Why is it so hard for women to understand that the desire for sex is not mutually exclusive from the feeling of love and actual genuine loyalty to another person? It's so hard for that. Women conflate the idea of wanting to have sex with other people with lack of morals. Women conflate the idea of a man wanting to have sex with other people with having a sex drive as a man is a sin to women. But having to the modern man, a woman who has a sex drive, a woman who does desire to have so many relationships is not foreign to modern men. As men who are studying female nature, we are actually understanding what women want. We are actually genuinely taking time to learn about women, albeit some of it may be negative, but at the end of the day, we're still learning about women. All women are hearing about these days is how to put yourself first. All women are hearing today is, oh, that man ain't enough. But this man did this to this girl. What is your man doing for you? What women are hearing nowadays is how their partner is so insufficient and incompetent that it is so hard for women to see the value and beauty in the man that you are. And it's like it's such a fucking slippery slope, because when women are doing that, when you know that women are unable to actually value you for the life that you're putting in, because time is your life, you will never get that back. You will never get that back. When a woman is unable to truly value what you are sacrificing to put into the relationship, that only really leaves one logical thing for you to do as a man, And it's to put yourself first. It's to put value on yourself. And this is what high value men do. This is what men that have, I don't want to continue to put this high value shit out there, but a man who has made himself into something, they put value on themselves. And so we have this conflicting thing going on where it's hard for a woman to feel secure. It's hard for a woman to trust this man because this man has options. This man has made himself into something. This man understands himself. It's not that this man doesn't have morals. It's not that this man doesn't have ethics. It's not that this man doesn't know what it means to be in a good relationship. It's just, God damn it, this man is a fucking human. This man has desires just like you do. But we are different. Men, going back to what this AI wrote for me in this video, you guys. An AI wrote this right here. Another difference is that men tend to have fewer close relationships and tend to rely more heavily on romantic partners for emotional support. As a woman, if you're looking for a man who does have more close relationships, guess what you're also going to deal with? You're going to deal with that man not being able to make a decision for himself because he cares about what his tribe thinks about him. It's bros before hoes. It's bros before hoes. And then girls don't like that shit. Oh, why aren't you about me? You're always hanging out at the bar with your friends. You're always going to go hang out with your friends. You're smoking with your friends. I don't like what you're doing. Well, goddamn it, what the fuck do you want? What do you want? You want something that is we can strive for, but it's so hard to get to that point. But when a man does get to the point where he's able to balance friends, family, loving you, and his own sexual drive, that motherfucker is something spectacular. And so he's gonna want to, you know, Estefan Sanchez said, love is not dead. Finding a girl who loves God and truly respects themselves and their family. That's when you know she's the one and it's worth loving. Don't rely on what an AI says. Follow God. Now, this is a great point. I thank you so much for bringing that up. I'm not following what an AI says. And for anyone else out there, of course not an AI. You don't follow what an AI says. What you use is you use these AI. You use all the knowledge out there as tools. You use this as perspective. You don't use it as the truth. You use it as perspective. Perspective is simply another person's view of the same thing. It's like art. They say art is worth 1,000 words. You can look at a picture and think of one thing. You can say, oh, I think the artist was trying to express love. I think the artist was trying to express the existential crisis of humans. Whereas someone else can look at that exact same picture and say, I think this person was high out of their mind, and for them to just throw all these splats all over, you know what I'm saying? And so this is the way that you need to take information that you receive, whether it be from an AI or whether it be from a random person on YouTube like me. It's all simply perspective, and it's ultimately up to you to put the puzzle pieces together to fully form a clear picture as to what is truly happening in society. Love is not dead. Traditional love is dead. Traditional love in modern society is dead. What is traditional love? I would say traditional love is love that existed prior to the internet. And the reason why I keep putting an emphasis on the internet is because we have Instagrams, we have the DMs, we have Tinder. Men's minds are getting, whether you want to say poisoned or freed, from people like Andrew Tate, people like Kevin Samuels, people like Rollo Tomasi, and women's minds are getting freed or poisoned by all of this media from other women saying out there. Woman that says that they follow God is a great thing, and it's really hard to find. You're exactly right, Sanchez. It is really hard to find a woman that follows God, but there's another thing that is just as big as God to a lot of women these days, and it's it's the way that females view them. Girls care about what other girls say about them. Girls are so much more social creatures than men are. Girls care about what other girls think about them. And so girls are going to shape what girls decide to do. And I don't know how old you are. Esteban, how old are you? I want to know how old you are. Because that is truly something that is going to tell you what, if you can get to 30, age 30, and then you can start really making an accurate analysis as to what's going on out here. What's your longest relationship? A lot of men, a lot of women out here that are giving advice haven't been in relationships longer than a year. It's rare to get into it's rare to be in a relationship longer than 2 or 3 years. You're getting into it. You're in a relationship for 4 years. Holy fuck. You've done something spectacular. You have what it takes to continue to thrive in a relationship, to work in a partnership. But one thing that is so sad is that we want to throw away these 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 year long relationships and jump right back out on the market. Women are a lot more okay with doing that than men are, which is where I come to point with this right here. What would have made a guy want to allow his woman to, like, let's just say that he allowed this to happen, right? There is no allowing anything, right? Because as humans, as free-willed people, we can do whatever it is that we want to do. You can do what you want to do. What you can do though is tell your partner what you would like and what you would like for them to not to do. If your partner is at least making efforts to acknowledge what it is that you want, you have something to work with. But people want to throw out the relationships. People just want to throw out the relationships. He didn't. He didn't. Are you okay with letting your woman sleep with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different guys to stay in a relationship for your kids, to stay in a relationship so you don't have to pay alimony for life, to stay in a relationship so that you don't lose your house? Are you willing to let your wife do that? Are you willing to put yourself last? You are last as a man in the family. It's the wife, it's the kid, it's the kids, it's God, it's the kids, it's the wife, and then it's the house, and then it's possibly you. If it is different, I would love to get on a camera. I would love to talk to anyone and let's actually have that conversation. I think what we need now more than ever are the true healthy relationships out there to get on the internet, to get on YouTube, to actually start hosting their own podcast and start talking to people. Start getting challenges from these manosphere areas, these pink pill areas who tell women to just put themselves first and shit like that. Where are y'all at? Where are they at? Huh? Oh, they're not on the internet. Oh, they're not gonna waste their time with that. But what the fuck? Okay, cool, great, great. That's fine. Focus on you, focus on your life, focus on your family, and that's it. But if you want to be better, if you have that relationship that everyone says exists in this world, come out there. Please come on the internet and talk about it. Because we as the world need help. They need guidance. And now I'm not just saying no relationships that's just been around for 2, 3 years. No, there needs to be criteria on it. Have you guys survived 5 years down the road? Who has slept and had sex with other people? How often do you like to have sex? These are some important questions to talk about because not everyone is built the same. Not everyone has the same sex drive. Not everyone has the same morals and ethics. So that's extremely important. You said just turned 19. I'll sum up to you. I respect your opinion. I think it's America that is where love is dead for men. Social media and celebrities have promoted degeneracy to the point where nobody wants kids or to be married. Such a good point, man. You are such a young guy, man. And I applaud you for even coming in, man. I thank you for coming in. You have so much life ahead of you. You just cannot get lost in the sauce. One thing that I do feel bad about people in your generation is that you guys grew up with the internet. You guys grew up with all of this stuff. And so it's really hard to form your own opinion about things. And I'm not saying that you can't form your own opinion. What I'm trying to say is that being able to detach from all of this shit is akin to go in monk mode in like Japan or something. How they are able to just live amongst nature. People who were born before the internet, that's all we had to do. We had to go outside. We had to live without Twitter's cesspool of opinions thrown out here. Even someone like me, I don't have all the guidance out here. I don't have, and I try not to tell people what to do. What I offer and what I try and what I love, older people that are going out here talking, what they can offer you is their time. I'm 28. Oh well, I'll be 28 in March. I'm about to be 28, almost 10 years older than you, Estefan. That means that there's about 10 plus years of knowledge that you can learn from someone like me, that you will never have to go down. Hopefully, you would never have to go down the same path that I did. Hopefully, you would never, ever have to have the same experiences that I do, and that you can accomplish success so much earlier than I or anyone else before me has. That's what older people should be doing. That's what we should be doing, but we don't. And I talk about this from even the older women and older guys. They only want to talk about their emotions and shit like that. And it's okay to talk about your emotions as long as you can format it in the way to say that, listen, what I'm telling you is not the end all be all. What I'm telling you may not even be the truth. What I'm telling you is my experience, and this is something that exists, is real. How real it is in your life depends on how you move and how you live your life. People do want kids. I want kids. I would like to get married, but it's the repercussions. It's the potential penalties that come with marriage, man. I'm about to be 28. If you haven't made your first $100,000 yet, oh my God, man, it is an adrenaline rush that you are going to love. It feels like you can do anything and everything. Now imagine you hitting $1 million. I don't know, you haven't lived the majority of life having $1 million, having $100,000 a year. And so when you get that money, your life is dramatically different. Now imagine you spending 20, 30 years of your life, and now you are effectively a millionaire, and you find a woman you love, and you want to, and then you guys divorce for whatever reason down the road, and now guess what? Alimony's kicking your ass, child support is kicking your ass, and now all that work that you put in is gone to shit because the government system is now taking 20 years of your fucking life away from your finances. That's 20. All that money that's getting taken away, that's going to alimony or child support, that's money you can't spend on yourself. That's money you can't spend on your children. That's money you can't spend on another woman. If you decide to go to another woman. These are real life repercussions that a lot of women just aren't understanding. And it's not to say there's anything wrong with women. What it is to understand is what you're facing up against, man. We want to love. I want to love. So many guys want to love. If like guys out there that say, "Oh, fuck them and dump them and shit like that," they exist out there. They don't, they exist. There are literally guys out there that just are okay with having just casual sex and just not loving any girl, literally putting themselves first at every moment of their life. They're okay with doing that, and they exist. Yes, they do. But a good majority of us men out here want to have kids. A good majority of us want to love. A good majority of us want to marry. I want to marry. I want to have kids, but not with this structure out here. Not if a woman can't value me. Not if a woman can't understand me. Not if a woman didn't take the time to understand me. She doesn't take the time to understand man. Do you have a girlfriend, Estefan? How long do you think you and your girlfriend might be with each other? Life, unfortunately, at 19, you as a man, you are not going to find your wife now. It is statistically not in your favor, against you, that damn near 95% of relationships that start off at that age of 19 in high school will never succeed further past 4 or 5 years. If you do succeed past 4 or 5 years before you reach 30, y'all are done. Y'all are done before 30. Why? Is it your fault? The woman may think it's your fault. Is it truly your fault? Who knows, man? All it is to have perspective. It's just to have perspective. I just noticed that as men, we spend so much time learning about women, learning about female nature, learning about hypergamy, learning how to text a woman. What gifts should I give for her Valentine's Day? How should I talk? What is Riz? How do I get better? We like, what's the word that I'm looking for? We like go crazy over learning how to better ourselves so that we can come off to women in a much better light. But women spend a lot of their time learning how to reject a lot of guys, learning how to find what it is that they want. but they're not really learning how to find what it is that they want. They're just learning how to look for the signs of the shit that they would like and then hope that they can woo the guy with their body or other things. It's very superficial the way that men and women interact with each other. I'm saying that men spend more time learning about women than women learn about men. Women don't genuinely try to learn about men. Women learn about men to get what they want. Women don't learn about men to be better with men. A lot of women don't learn about men to understand, okay, you know what? He's stressed out. How can I make your day better? How can I make your day better, baby? Oh, you have a sex drive? What can I do? What can I do to help this out so that because I don't feel like having sex with you, but you came to me. You came to me and you told me that not having sex makes you feel sad. Not having sex makes you feel less than. It's such a distracting feeling in your mind that you have to either go masturbate or you're looking at women differently because I'm not having sex with you as your woman. Well, how can we fix this? That simple question with that level of actual compassion coming from a woman will solve so many issues in the world. And then at that point, it is up to you as the man to reciprocate and be emotionally mature enough to be able to articulate what you're going through, to be able to articulate how you guys can come to a solution together. It takes that. But when we're young, men and women do not, for the most part, have the ability to identify the true qualities and the true traits that will genuinely create a long-lasting, loving, and secure relationship. God forbid something happens when you're on the highway driving to your job or driving to wherever you get in a car crash and now you're on your deathbed. God forbid that shit happens. Wouldn't you want your loved one to be there? God forbid something happens to the point where, like that shit is terrible. We should share these experiences of life with one another. But it's so hard when we don't know how to value each other. And that's all that I see from this. This is why I just feel like it's sad. You know? We have so many random people online talking about this relationship these people have because of what she has done was messy. Was messy. Society has so many opinions on how to live your life. Is he sleeping with other women? We don't know. Do they have an open relationship? We don't know. But I think what we can get from this is what situations in your relationship would make you as a man say, hey, baby, it's okay if you go sleep around with other guys. It's okay. As long as you don't leave me. Stefan, what I was bringing up about AI, the reason why I said I brought up AI was because I wanted to see what the AI had to say about this chat GPT thing, and it surprised me. I'll say it once again what this thing said. It is a widely debated topic whether men and women love differently. Some experts argue that men and women have different emotional and psychological needs in relationships, which I think we can all agree upon, while others believe that love is a universal experience that does not vary by gender. Now, this universal experience thing, because you did mention that love in the United States, I think that this is going to be, unfortunately, love throughout the rest of the world for the most part. Look at what happened in the Taliban. Did you see what happened when Joe Biden tried to pull out of Afghanistan and the Taliban were taking over? The Taliban have the Taliban isn't huge. There's no way the Taliban should have taken over of America's forces. You know how it really happened? It's because a good majority of the people that live in Afghanistan actually genuinely believe in Sharia law. They genuinely believe in the traditional values of the Quran, of Islam. Fuck all that Western shit, man. A lot of countries don't like the Western ideology. I actually think that what the Taliban did for their country is admirable. I'm not saying that the violence, the terrorism shit is admirable. I think standing up against the Western ideology and philosophies is admirable because Western ideology and philosophy is going to take over the world. It's taking over the world. Where you think that women here in America are terrible, they don't care and shit like that. No, this is going all over the rest of the world. The rest of the world will be under the umbrella of Western ideology within the next 50 years. Within the next 50 years, easily. This is something that's going to affect men forever. So now the average man is going to be above average, especially if you answer the call. If you're going to the gym, if you're focusing, if you're learning about philosophy, if you're learning about the true tangible things around you that make the world go round. One thing in particular, real estate. So many young men, so many young people, so many people my age know nothing about real estate. I can tell you how many people have bought their first house that are my age or a little bit older and have lost it because they don't know about real estate. And what I mean about learning about real estate is, do you know anything about intestate law? Do you know anything about eminent domain? Do you know anything about condemnation? What about buffer zones? Do you know anything about the taxes? What about the title company and how the escrow process works? These are tangible things that as a man, you have to focus on. You have to literally take time away from your life to learn about these things if you do not have someone in your life that is going to be able to teach you these things. Women aren't able to value that. I'm not saying women by all, but a lot of women don't want to be there when you are going through that type of thing. It's going to take a tremendous amount of time for you to become above average. And when every man is above average, women are going to want you to become great. You said, my longest relationship was 9 months. I was only 16, but felt love and lost my V card to her. And at this time, TikTok had just started up pretty much. And I was a issue in the relationship, but gave it to another female. Thank you for being honest about that, Estefan. One thing about that, now here's the question I got to ask you even further about that. What do you think was the issue with your relationship? Why did you feel like you needed to go have sex with another woman? It's fucking nature. It's fucking nature. You're 19. Your hormones are going wild. But guess what? As a woman, she doesn't give a damn about your hormones. She doesn't give a damn that this is natural processes that you will eventually possibly may grow out of that phase. She doesn't care that as a man that this is just part of your fucking biology. And as men, we are told that it's an issue. Oh, it's wrong. Your sex drive is wrong. You need to go to God. Oh, you want to have sex? God. That's the point that I'm talking about. Our mind, especially when you're in high school, and that's good for you, man. You lost your virginity at 16. I lost mine at 18, bro. I lost mine at 18. I think that people are having sex a lot sooner than they ever were before. But one, like me losing my virginity, I wanted to lose my virginity to someone I loved. You felt love, that's great. I encourage you to find love again in your 20s. Can you find love again when you are not in the same vicinity as this person every day? Can you develop trust when you're not in the same class with this person, when you don't see them every day, when they're 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away? Can you still develop a loving and trusting relationship? How long can you maintain a relationship in that way? I think that after high school, that's when true relationships, even after college too, that's when true relationships are put to the test. And if you can survive a year, 2 years, oh my God, 3 years, holy shit. My last was 3. This one is coming up on 4. But the way things are going now with the girl that I've been talking to are just, there is looking like she's just done. It's just absolutely done. And it's I think that once I can completely actually understand and have the full conversation with my lady about what's been going on between us, I'll be able to bring that out there and be honest about it to everyone, because I'm not going to be someone out here that's just saying shit and not living it. I think the thing is now, even me at 27, 20, going into 28, what I'm understanding is that It's not enough to be emotionally available for your lady. It's not enough to say the nice things. It's not enough to spend thousands of dollars on her. It's not enough to read books with her. It's not enough to go to church with her. It's not enough. It's just never enough, man. It's never enough. It's not enough, man. It's not enough to control your sex drive. It's not. None of it is ever enough. All that you can do for the most part for a lot of women out there, the only way that you can avoid this is if the woman has in the mindset to genuinely, truly desire to want to understand you as a man and accept you for your fallacies, your imperfections, and want she has to desire that for herself and for you. If she can't and if she doesn't, the relationship is more than likely gonna like slowly die off. Because what you do is foreign to her. What you do doesn't make sense. What you do is unethical. What you do is unmoral. What you do means that you are lesser, you have less consciousness than she does. It always kind of stems in that direction. You just were never enough. And so what are the majority of women are going to do these days? And Estefan, you are 19, man. I highly, highly encourage you to pay attention. Pay attention. Just follow on Instagram, social media, TikTok, whatever. Follow so many of the girls that you went to high school with that you know now and see where their life is going to end up 10 years from now. Oh my God, I'm telling you, it is real. What I'm telling you right now, 1/19/2023, in 2033, look to see where those same women are at when you are my age, my man. The shit that I heard from like Kevin Samuels, from older men out here, I saw that stuff 4 years ago. Now, 27, 28, I'm seeing it. Women would much rather choose to be single than to deal with the problems that come with being in a relationship. It is much easier for a woman to be single, to continue to taste what all the life has to offer, what all the men are willing to do for her, than it is to build a genuine relationship. And then when they approach 30 and 40, then that's when they say they're going to be dating with a purpose. Then that's when their bodies are going to be fat. Then that's when they're going to be so much more like demanding of you putting them on a date and shit like that. You guys, like it's just not good. It's not good, man. I was 19 when I first moved to Dallas out here. There was a girl. I'll tell you a story real quick, man. I used to work at Forever 21 at North Park Mall. When you go to North Park Mall in Dallas, if you ever come to Dallas, Texas, Forever 21 has been replaced with a store called Zara. Forever 21 is no longer there. I used to work there. That was the first job that I got when I came to Texas when I was 19. There was a girl named Jakara that I used to work with there. She was 2-3 years younger than me. I think she was like 16, 17. I was like 19 or something. She was cute. I liked her. We used to talk, smoke, joke around. I thought we were cool. And I had this friend named Justin at AT&T at in the same mall. We used to talk. Justin used to come in and come visit me, come talk to me at the store. And Jakara really liked him. She really liked my friend. Long story short, they ended up fucking a lot. She ended up being a fuck buddy to him. I wanted to, just have fun or some shit like that with her. She used to flirt with me a lot, but she preferred to be with him, right? So we fell out or whatever. And that was damn near 10 years ago. Fast forward to now, not only does she have a kid, but she also has gained a tremendous amount more amount of weight, and she's back on the market. Back on the market, jumping back and forth between relationships, putting on the facade that she's happy. There's nothing wrong with convincing yourself that you're happy, but it is wrong when you are delusionally giving advice to so many young men and women out there, telling them to do this, that, and the third, when your own mind has convinced itself that it's okay living the life that it's living right now. That's one of the massive things that is amazing about the human brain. We can disassociate from the trauma that we are going through and make it not seem as bad as it truly is. And upon doing that, we genuinely reformat the fucking chemical processes in our brain so that we perceive the world differently. I'll say that one more time. The human brain is capable of transforming trauma into, this is okay. It's not too bad. It could be worse. Genuine, true trauma can be lessened and dampened by the human brain. And then that puts us in a state of delusion where we believe that the shit that we're going through is actually not as bad as it truly is. Now, just because something is bad, does that mean you exit from it? That's up to you to decide on what to do. You can decide on if you just exit it because it's so bad. One thing that I love to do is I love to understand, why is this bad? Why did it get this bad? How can I improve it? How can it improve? Thank you for keeping me company in this, man. Stefan, man. I would really love to like hear your journey and hear how things end up for you, man. I'm gonna follow you, bro. I'm gonna subscribe to your channel, man. If you make content, bro, I would love to see your journey and see how you grow within the next 10 years, man. Seriously. I want to see this happen. God is not enough. Religion is not enough. Love is not enough. Suppressing your sex drive is not enough. And if all those things are not enough, then what are you left with? I'm not going to leave an answer there. I think that's up for you to decide, or for other people to decide. What is left? My personal opinion is, what is left after that? If after you've done your best and tried everything, the only thing really left is to continue to try harder, to continue to set goals, move the goalpost. As long as you're a man that is always improving, always reevaluating yourself, never just completely taking out all of the negative things, the criticisms that people have to say. You don't just ignore it. You take it with a grain of salt, see if what someone is saying about you is actually real or not, if it's applicable, reflect on it a little bit, and then you decide if you should take the advice of the criticism or if you should just throw it all out. That's what I think you should do. When all that shit is left, and then you need to understand what you value. What is important to you? What are you willing to be okay with? What exceptions do you have to accepting something? What consequences are you willing to accept in the name of love? Are you willing to accept alimony? Are you willing to accept child support? Are you willing to accept you taking your life, time out of your life, to sit there, genuinely talk and express your emotions and still be misunderstood? This is why so many people don't want marriages these days. People are understanding that men and women don't understand each other. People are understanding that men and women don't actually, men like women, but women don't like men. I will say that. Men like women. Men love women. But women love women and themselves first before they love men. Men are more likely to put women before even themselves, whereas a woman is more likely to put her friends and herself before you. She is more likely to put her friends, herself, and everyone else before you. And there's an exception to this rule, because you're in high school. Young women will put men who don't give a fuck about them before anything else. That's an exception. Young women will put men who don't give a fuck about them before everyone else, and then once they do that, they get burnt, and then they hate all men. They get burnt because they put the wrong men before anyone else, and then they get burnt. Or they put a man before everyone else, and he's not perfect. And now men are forever bad. With that being said, man, thank you for tuning in. I know this is a late stream, man, and I don't know if it was boring or not, but I really wanted to talk about this. I just think it's kind of sad, man. It's kind of sad. And you know, yeah. With that being said, man, it's your brother Trey, and Estefan, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna subscribe to you, man. I'm gonna be looking out for you. I'm gonna be looking out to see how things are going for you, man. Seriously.